A dark night of the soul is not a vibe. It is a kill switch. It is the moment the story you were living refuses to boot. If you are in it, or crawling out of it, listen closely. What you are feeling is not weakness. It is the psyche deleting outdated code. What people romanticize online as a dark night of the soul is usually just a bad week. The real thing is a metaphysical power cut. Meaning drains out of everything. Rituals stop working. Prayer feels like talking to drywall. Your old ambitions taste like dust. You feel exiled from your own life. That is the zone we are going to walk through right now. And we are not doing it with soft words. We are doing it like people who actually want to come back. A dark night is dangerous because it does not only hurt, it makes you doubtful of your perception. You start thinking, maybe I am broken. Maybe the calling was fake. Maybe I peaked. That thought is the real enemy, not the sadness, not the emptiness, the idea that you have been abandoned by the thing that once spoke to you. That is how people get pulled into numbing addictions, culty ideologies, or endless scrolling. If you do not understand the architecture of the night, you will obey the first thing that promises light. So hear this. Your system is not failing. It is refusing to carry a self that is too small. This is not a new phenomenon. The phrase dark night of the soul comes from a 16th century mystic, John of the Cross, who described a stage where the soul is stripped of its previous consolations so it can unite with something higher. Jung saw the same pattern. He called it the night sea journey. You descend, you wrestle with images, you come back with gold. Modern neuroscience describes something culturally less poetic. When the default mode network, the DMN, that constant self-narration loop, gets disrupted by trauma, stress, or deep inner conflict, your old predictive model of reality stops matching your experience. The brain hates prediction error, so it flags everything as wrong, which you experience as emptiness, derealization, spiritual silence. Your nervous system has pulled the plug so it can rewire. That is the night. So the mystic said, you are being emptied for God. Jung said, you are being confronted by the self. Neuroscience says, your high-level priors are being recalibrated. All of them are pointing at the same thing. A forced upgrade. Let us unpack the psychology. Before the night, you had a stable identity. Maybe it was the good person, the gifted one, the survivor, the spiritual seeker. Your psyche invested energy into keeping that mask alive. Then reality confronted it. Loss, betrayal, exhaustion, or simply hitting a plateau you could not bypass with hustle. Your unconscious said, this mask cannot take us further. So it began to withdraw libido from it. That withdrawal is why you feel flat. Your old goals do not light up your reward circuitry anymore. Dopamine is not being assigned to yesterday's mission. So when you try to act like before, it feels fake. Because it is. A the same time the shadow rises. All the parts that did not fit your old identity come to the surface. Anger, envy, spite, the wish to wreck things. This is not you getting worse. This is you seeing what was always running in the basement. If you think spiritually, this looks like God distancing himself. If you think psychologically, it looks like ego decompensating. If you think neurobiologically, it looks like networks downshifting so plasticity can happen. All three are the same map from different angles. Here is the reframing that people resist. The dark night is not punishment. It is selection. The universe is testing which of your loyalties are real. Will you stay loyal to a dead self? Or will you stay loyal to the deeper signal that pulled you into awakening in the first place? Silence is not absence. Silence is space. When the old consolations vanish, the psyche finally has room to install a bigger pattern. You cannot pour new wine into old skins. You cannot run a new identity on an ego that still thinks approval is salvation. So the night cuts those feeds. You feel lonely, so you can notice you were addicted to validation. You feel meaningless, so you can notice you outsourced meaning to productivity. You feel abandoned, so you can notice you were worshipping a concept of God that was actually your parents. That is the point. Not to comfort you, to expose the false center. Let us do a short rite. Not self-help. A control test. Pause your inner speech for a moment. Name in a single sentence the part of your life that died. Say it in your mind. The version of me who was always strong. The visionary who never got tired. The believer who always heard God. Now breathe in for 4. Hold for 5. Out for 6. Do that twice. Now say this line in your mind. I witnessed the death. I am not the thing that died. What you just did is separation. You located the dead mask as an object. Objects can be buried. You are the witness. The witness survives the night. If you want to deepen it later, write a 5-line obituary for that old self. Thank it for getting you here. Then give it permission to go. Ritual tells the nervous system, the loss is acknowledged. We can proceed. Now the objections. What if my dark night is just depression? Maybe it is. Bodies and brains get sick. Go get help if you are in danger. But depression says, nothing will ever matter. The night says, nothing old will ever matter again. One is a collapse of life force. The other is the redirection of life force. You can feel the difference. What if I caused this with sin? Low vibration. Wrong choices. Stop moralizing the nervous system. Yes, bad habits make it worse. Yes, numbing out will prolong it. but growth requires disorientation. You did not fail because you outgrew your toy religion. What if the light never comes back? It will, if you stop trying to resurrect the old altar. The people who stay stuck are the ones who try to get God, or the muse, or their creativity to come back to the exact same shape as before. It will not. You are being asked to serve from the deeper layer now. So let us compress this. Dark night of the soul. Definition: a forced collapse of an outdated identity and meaning structure. Purpose: to free psychic energy for a more authentic union with self, God, or reality. Mechanism: withdrawal of consolations, elevation of shadow content, temporary flattening of reward. Risk: you create a new fake self to avoid the emptiness. Gift: you leave the night knowing which voice is actually yours. It is not the darkness that heals you. It is courage in the darkness. It is saying, I will not go back to sleep. I will not rejoin the comfortable herd. I will walk through this desert until the new signal arrives. Your comeback has already begun, because you finally named the season. Because you stopped calling it random suffering. Because you can see that silence is information. Now hear me. If you are in the night right now, this channel was meant to find you. You are the one who refuses to be gaslit by culture into thinking this is just burnout. Tell me in the comments what died. Name it so others know they are not the only ones burying old selves. Subscribe so you do not lose the thread. Because we are going to keep mapping the hidden initiations that society mislabels as failure. You are not behind. You are being initiated. Walk it to the end. If this video shifted something in your mind, you're ready for the next level. Download my free ritual guide in the description. No catch. Just pure psychological alchemy you can use tonight. If you want to go deeper, hit the initiation playlist. It's your step-by-step journey into breaking unconscious patterns and mastering your own mind. Both links are waiting below. Your transformation starts now. Until next time.